Welcome to a very special Saturday edition of Hash Out Hour.
You're supposed to be able
I'm
to hear the other
Jordan.
person?
Oh yeah, we can't hear.
We can't hear me?
We can hear you, yeah, but we can't hear the redhead.
Welcome. Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh. Is the Twitter thing again? Or the Skype thing again?
Let's just try this.
Oh, it's crossed out maybe for a microphone.
Oh, what's that?
Can you hear me now?
Click on her name, please.
Do you guys see did you unclick the microphone?
We, no, on her, like, on hers, we can see her, but, oh, you do it this. It's showing her as muted, I think.
Can we restart the link?
You want me to, so we'll drop out and we'll join back in.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, just give us a sec.
While we sort this out.
Jordan, do you know your camera's off?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I was trying to fix it. Can you hear me?
Yes. I think they might have just seriously had the microphone off. So we'll wait. Hopefully that'll fix it.
Okay.
So.
They're just rejoining us.
All right.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Are you guys can't hear her?
No, we can't hear her. Can you hear her?
Yeah, I can hear her. That's why I think maybe her microphone. Did you go down to her picture? Do you see the little microphone with a cross off of it?
No, there's not one on there right now.
Oh. Yeah, it's not down there for me either now.
Let me mute my mic for a sec.
Okay, now it's muted for me too. So.
Yeah, it's showing her as muted for us.
Okay, so maybe if she.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear her?
No, we can't hear her.
This has never happened before, by the way.
It's okay.
We've had lots of other
we've had some troubles with some of the ones we've done, so.
Well, it is
like
Google Hangout and the internet, so what can you do? Well, do you want me, Jordan, to ask them some questions till we figure this out?
Yeah, go ahead and start this off.
Okay. What did you guys, when you first entered the house, there was no furniture?
Yeah, when we walked through the doors, there was legit nothing in the house at all. You're first, concerned about, getting to know everyone, getting their name, finding out who they are. And it didn't even dawn on me that there was actually zero furniture in the house.
We were just excited to be in the Big Brother house.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was crazy though. I mean, it was definitely eventful.
That whole night was a whirlwind, and all we had is slop, zero furniture. We basically just had towels to sleep on and keep us warm. It was legit, like, ridiculous.
Yeah, horrible.
So how long were you in the house before you guys got any furniture? Because we just see it kind of on TV, so we don't have a exact time.
We earned our furniture, I believe, on day 3.
Day 3.
So on day 1, we did our nominations and power veto and the power veto ceremony, and Peely went on the block immediately. And then we started the balloon challenge on day 2.
Day 2. And that lasted approximately 27 hours.
Because of Kevin popping the balloon on us.
And then from there, we did that whole brick challenge to get our furniture back. Oh, no, we had to crack the code.
Yeah,
we cracked the code, which was a disaster. And then we had the brick challenge. So yeah, it was by day, evening day 3, we got everything back.
So were you guys surprised to see that Kevin popped the balloon on purpose and got money?
Not really. There was speculation that Kevin popped the balloon on purpose, and there was speculation that Kevin was like the saboteur in the house. So I was not surprised by any means when I saw it on television.
I mean, Sarah had a theory that he was the saboteur. Up until when I was leaving, she was still convinced he was the saboteur. So it was funny. And actually, an interesting fact, the earring that likely popped the balloon was probably Naeha's.
Couldn't find that thing forever. I don't know where it is. It's in the BB house somewhere.
That's funny. Now, remind me, who did you guys nominate that first night?
I nominated Cindy and Godfrey.
And I nominated Cindy and Naeha.
So why? What were your reasonings behind that, since it was the first night you didn't know anybody?
So for me, initially Cindy and Godfrey were really out there. They were rubbing people the wrong way. So my reasoning is I thought that other people might nominate them, so it would just increase their number of nominations. In the event that I was nominated, it would bring me down a bit. So it was kind of strategic.
And for me, certainly voting for Cindy, it was because she was sort of rubbing everyone the wrong way. She came in, I'm Cindy with an S, and that sort of rubbed people the wrong way. And I mean, until you get to know Cindy, that's her. And that's just what her personality is. And I mean, we literally were in there maybe an hour or two before we had to, it was maybe even just an hour, before we had to nominate. As for Naeha here, she has resting bitch face, hardcore. So, I mean, the minute I saw the resting bitch face, I was a touch concerned. But then I got to know her, and of course, you know, the rest is history.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you, Jordan. Throw some questions at me, and I'll relay it to them.
Okay.
Because she had a lot more of the when you guys were in the house. I don't remember that well, so she had a lot more of those. I have more after you guys left.
So, did you, so you didn't get the earring back. Let's see.
I'm trying to think. Were you happy that Risha left, or do you think you guys would have ended up working together, now that you know her since you...
I wanted her to stay, so, yeah.
It made more sense for Risha to stay. We understand that the feeds weren't on for that whole first week, so you didn't get to see actually Risha in the house. She was really working hard to stay. She was working G. She ended up getting Greg so riled up that he ended up putting this plan forward to try to flip the vote and get Peely to go. Of course, before we even knew that we weren't even voting. And he ended up rubbing a lot of people the wrong way, which I think put a huge target on G. He sort of did this approach where he would approach us to tell us that we should flip the vote in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Peely was sitting on the bed across from us, and Greg is pitching this plan to us to take her out. So it was quite interesting. That was literally probably the night or two before the eviction he tried to flip the vote. But Rish really worked it, honestly, and she continued to work on Greg because she knew he was sort of the loose cannon, and that's sort of the angle that she could take. But yeah, it was interesting. You guys didn't get to see the Rish that we got to see, and she was certainly fighting to stay. And you know, if we had been able to vote, it would have been nice. I don't think the vote would have ended up being for Peely. We would have voted out Rish, but
we wanted to keep her.
In hindsight, if we could have kept her, it would have definitely benefited our game.
Yeah, I think I wish that we could see the first week into the house, because it's so hard. We jump in as live feeders in the middle of it all, and we get only what the show gives us, which sometimes isn't the truth. But I voted for Peely to stay, but now, and everybody else said, "Oh, I'm stupid." And I really think that Rish would have probably been pure entertainment value.
Oh my God, it would have been unreal with her in the house.
So much fun. She was entertaining in just the 6 days she was in the house.
Yeah,
so I mean, if she was there longer, God knows what else she would have done.
It definitely would have been good. Let's see. I had another question, and so Johnny, you know it's coming. I'm gonna have to bring up Kevin.
Kevy Webby.
So, well, first and foremost, are you still bitter about it, or just game and you think you guys will be friends on the outside?
You know what? I'm not bitter about it in the least bit. I understand Kevin had to do what he had to do. Watching back the episodes, it made it look a lot like Kevin was the #1 deciding factor between me leaving, and there was a lot more going on behind the scenes. If I have to actually put the blame on who is the reason I'm going home, I would put it squarely on Zach and JP, to be honest with you. I mean, Kevin was along for the ride too, and ultimately he targeted me first in the power veto competition that I had no hope of winning. But it's game, and I understand that. Had Kevin had tried to support me and had gone after Bobby or Bruno, you know, he would have put his neck out there, and he would have been a target, which he already was. Kevin was a target from day one, so it didn't really matter at that point. He's still on people's radars now. He was on people's radars then. So him trying to support me would have only made it that much worse for him. So I don't blame him for doing it. No hard feelings. For me, game is game, and I want to judge the real people that we met. I mean, we got to know the real people in the house, but in a game context. So on the outside world, I'm definitely going to be 100% friends with Kev. I love him to pieces. I can't wait to go visit him out in Calgary, so no hard feelings with Kev at all.
Good. I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I do really legitimately think that he likes you a lot, and I think you guys will be good friends.
There's so many theories out there that he's actually into me, but I think some of the fans are super crazy, but we love it. And if he is into me, great. That's awesome.
You're really happy.
I'm really happy about that.
Let me hear. Hey,
Can
well,
you
Nate,
guys hear
what did
me?
you think about the instant?
It's the worst possible way to go out of this game. I didn't have a chance to fight for veto. I didn't have a chance to campaign for votes. I truly believe that if it didn't happen at that time, I would still be in the house. I would have, or even if it did happen and they gave me the chance to fight for veto or campaign, I'd still be in the house. The timing was just off. We created this 7-person alliance the night of, prior to the instant eviction, and so if Kevin just had another 10 hours to make his noms, or on the spot when we were told about the instant eviction, I would 100% still be in the house. So it sucks. But it's Big Brother. They throw everything and anything at you, so you just got to take it. But, of course, it hurts a lot. As a super fan, it's one of the worst possible ways to go out of the game.
I agree. Was there anybody's vote that you did not get that you thought you were?
Yeah, I thought I would get Zach and JP's vote just because he and those two and Sarah and I formed an alliance on day 2 where we kind of protect each other sort of thing, and we were really close in the house. And I really think those two were torn because I know that Zach, he wrote down Brittany's name first and crossed it out. And then also watching the show now, I knew that JP was kind of like upset. He kind of put his hands to the camera like, what the hell, when he was evicting me. I think they knew that working with me would have been better for them, and they wanted to, but they just couldn't show their cards and show their allegiance to me at that point. So those are the 2 votes that I really thought I'd get that I didn't get.
And it's possible, had we have gone into the diary room to vote, it may have actually been a different story.
Yeah.
I think because we realized fairly quickly once we were walking into the vault to cast the vote on paper, which was very Survivor-esque, that we were going to have to show them. So, I mean, maybe it could have been a different story had we have gone into the DR to vote like we would have normally, because then it would have sort of masked who was voting. But who knows at that point, you know?
Yeah.
I don't even think you would have been put up had he not had to nominate someone instantly, because he almost immediately regretted it.
Yeah, he regretted it. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Kevin really didn't know a whole bunch what was going on game-wise for those first 2 weeks. Until he won HOH, I think the realization moment for Kevin, what was going on in the house, really came on the night he won HOH, when Nae sat him down and we all sort of sat together, and then after him and I, where we really said to him, like, listen, this is what's up. We're in a lot of trouble. You're in trouble. You were the target when Bobby was HOH. And you know,
yeah.
It's just...
That night, man, like, I know it's on the live feeds because when I was evicted, Arissa told me that everyone was watching till 3 a.m., like, what I was doing. We created something amazing that would have turned the game around completely. So it's so unfortunate that he had to make his nominations prior to that, because as we were telling him, like, listen, Kevin, you were the target, you would have been going home, these guys are not with you, you could see that he was realizing on the spot. And then after I went, guaranteed, like, and I saw it on the show, he regretted what he had done, but it was too late.
Let's see here. Jordan, do you have anything that you want to add about the instant?
Can you hear me now?
I don't think they can.
Okay, well, I was wondering do you think it's harder to be voted out via instant or via Canada?
Jordan wants to know, do you think it's harder to be voted out via Canada or via an instant?
Oh, that's a tough
really
one.
Good question.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hard for someone. I think it was hard for Risha to be voted out by Canada, to be honest. Going out through an instant eviction is so brutal. It's so hard because you can't fight for your life, and it's like you have no control, sort of thing. And again, I guess with Canada you have no control either, but the only control you have is the way you kind of present yourself and the game that you played. I think with Risha, again, she didn't get much airtime. Like, no one really got to see her. So it was really crazy for us to see that the first eviction was through Canada. I think they'd both be really, really hard. I mean, if Canada said to me they don't love me, like, I would be crushed. So to go both ways would be very, very difficult. But just experiencing that instant eviction, I can tell anyone that is the one way that no one wants to go. Like, when I came to the house, I said my worst fear in this game is being the first to be evicted from the house. Having experienced an instant eviction, there's nothing worse than that. Nothing worse than an instant eviction.
It was heartbreaking to watch. It really was.
In the house for me to watch it go down, I was devastated.
Oh, I know you were. I know you were. How bad is it being a have-not?
I didn't mind it at all. To be completely honest, I like the slop. It doesn't taste as bad as everyone makes it out to be.
Okay, whoa. Okay, when you do it up with condiments, and then it's good. But by itself, it's gritty and grainy, and it has a little bit of a nasty aftertaste. And legit, that stuff did not sit well with my stomach. But I will give it to Naeha. When she was making slop rotis, and they were seasoned well, and she made a slop slab, it was actually really good.
Yeah, very edible. It was fine. Sleeping in the have-not room is not bad at all. We have mattresses in there, so it's fine. There's like, it wasn't bad. Like it's fine to be. I think a have-not this year was not bad by any means.
How shocked are you?
Big Brother house. I'd go back to the Big Brother house and be a have-not for the rest of the season if I could be in the Big Brother house.
Absolutely.
I think anybody would say that, probably.
Yeah.
How surprised are you to find out there's something in the floor in the have-not room?
Very.
Very surprised. They teased at it in the first episode, and we haven't sort of seen anything of it since. Although, from our fans that have been tweeting at us and from what we've seen, Kevin has actually been fooling around with the tiles on the floor in the have-not room. So it's possible that he's on to something in there. It's just a matter of whether and when Big Brother is ready to sort of roll out whatever might be in there, or maybe they're going to hide clues or something, but who knows what could be in there? Possibly a hidden veto or secret veto.
Something big.
Maybe a code to the vault. Who knows? But
yeah.
I can't wait to see how that one plays out, because that one's going to be a really interesting one.
Big time.
Let's see here. What? I guess let's go to the sequester house.
All right.
What happened there? Anything you can spill? Anything interesting? Anything you found out you didn't know?
So yeah, not like the biggest thing was when Greg came into the house, he told us about the chop shop. We had no idea about it. I kind of knew there was a bigger alliance. I just didn't know that Willow and Ashley were part of it. So I had all other members pegged. I knew Zach was dipping in and out, but I didn't realize it was a legit named bigger entity in the house. So that was the biggest shocker, I would think. That's pretty much it. Other than that, we kind of knew everything that was going on with each person coming in. Like Cindy went in first, and then I came in right after her. So we discussed, and I told her everything that I knew. But the big ball was when Greg came into the house and he told us about the chop shop. That kind of changed a lot of people's perspective on what is going on in the house and our opinions of some of the people in the house.
And for me, when I showed up in sequester, I was there for such a short period of time because I was the last of the 5 evicted. And really, the minute I walked in, it was just like, woo, whirlwind of information. Everyone sort of telling me about the chop shop and everything going on. I sort of got them up to date on the whole sort of couples alliance that was developing, the ridiculously named Diaper Alliance now, apparently. I don't know where that name came from. I'm sure it was a Peely or Ashley pick. But so we sort of filled them in on sort of what was sort of starting there and how, JP was sort of on the ins of that sort of as Zach's wingman. So yeah, it was interesting. Sequester was a whirlwind, and I think the funny thing that people don't understand in Sequester is everyone was still playing the game.
All the time.
We left the house playing the game, but then entered Sequester still playing the game.
Yeah.
So let's go to the comp to get back into the house. First off, how bad did it hurt to be up there?
It was a very difficult competition. It was very, very hard. We were in pain, like legit the whole time. I mean, I was up there for over an hour and a half, I think, and it was brutal. Like it was hard. Yeah, it is what it is. It didn't go our way.
I mean, the knots were literally small. Like the biggest knot was maybe the size of a large grapefruit, I would say. And so it was actually really tiny. The middle one even smaller, and the last one was like the size of a ping pong ball, almost. So they were tiny, tiny knots. I mean, for me, I got right up on that thing, and I knew before I even got on the rope that I was going to be able to do it. My feet are just too big, and you know, the knot and your shoes. We were wearing these huge hiking boot type things, so they were actually just hard to physically get onto the knot itself. And I was instantly sweating. All my muscles were shaking. It took everything in me just to hold myself up there for 3 or 4 minutes that I was up there. And I mean, I don't know if we haven't watched that episode yet because we haven't brought ourselves to actually putting us through the pain of actually realizing we didn't go back in. But I don't know how it was shown, but literally I fell within 3 minutes. G fell shortly, like within 10 seconds of me, and then Risha was maybe about 5 minutes after. And then these two, Cindy and Nay, continued battling it out.
For how long total did the comp go on?
I think it was over 1.5 hours, so over 90 minutes.
Wow. Well, which do you think is worse, being the first one out or the last one out?
For me, honestly, like I almost died when I left. I got out because it was literally the difference between Cindy and I was seconds.
I think I have to agree.
So it was so painful to be on there for so long and then to lose. It was like legit, like my dreams had just like been shattered.
And yeah, because you're so close, right? You're the last one up there, almost in the house, and then when you fall, to me that's got to be way worse. I mean, falling first sucked, but I think for me, I had a week. So for Neha, she was instantly evicted and really didn't have time to process anything. She was out the door, boom, done. For me, I had the week sort of to process that I was up on the block, that I was being evicted, and then boom, I exit the house sort of, not okay, I don't want to say I was devastated that I was leaving the house, but you process your emotions because you have time, and then you have the chance of getting back in. And for me, again, when I looked at the competition, I knew it wasn't going to happen for me, so thankfully my emotions had already still been processed from leaving the house, and it was literally days that I had been out of the house. So, I mean, it sucks. Definitely being the last one up there before getting in is far worse than falling first. Far worse.
Let's see here. I'm getting all kinds of stuff.
Can you hear me yet?
Jordan's checking to see if we can hear her because the poor thing, you guys cannot hear her at all.
I don't understand how you can hear her, but we can't.
The only thing I can
Johnny
think is
if there's any. Ask Johnny if there's any chance of him selling the homemade Vitos he made.
Jordan wants to know if there's any chance you're going to sell the homemade Vitos you made, Johnny.
The homemade Vito. The homemade Vito was actually made out of tinfoil. It was nothing spectacular. Tinfoil and cardboard. I'm probably not going to sell them, but it was a lot of fun. And my big brother's shrine and my pegboard was a bunch of fun. But, you know, I'm going to go back to being the super fan that I was before. We haven't had a ton of time to watch the live feeds, but, you know, once I get settled back home, I'm still here in Toronto with Neha. I haven't even returned home yet. Once I get settled again, I'm going to get my multiple screens up to have my live feeds running. I'm going to be tweeting. You know, we might have something in store for our fans with some, you know, videos or something like that. So stay tuned. But yeah, we're going back to being super fans. We might not be in the house, but we still love and breathe Big Brother. And you know, we're going to continue to be those fans.
I had a question and just lost it. I'm sorry. There was a follow-up question to that. But let's see. Well, who do you guys want? Who do you guys think is going to make it all the way, and who do you want to make it all the way?
Those are two different answers.
I'm sure they are.
I would love, and I think Johnny as well would love for Sarah to win the game. She's just an amazing, amazing person. We love her to death.
Who did you say you cut out?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Okay.
She's unreal. I really, really hope she wins the game. Who do we think is going to make it to the end? I think Bruno or Zach are going to make it to the end. They're playing a really, really good game. Zach has his fingers in every pot, and it's taking him far, so I think he'll be good. But, yeah, that's it. Zach
and the thing is, we love Sarah to pieces. Unfortunately, she really has an uphill battle right now that she has to work on. We're hoping, and we know that with the information she has from Sequester that Cindy told her, she really has the ammunition she needs. It's just a matter of can she pull it off, and it's going to be tough for her. But like Nate said, Zach and Bruno are really set up to do really well in the game. Bruno's sort of calling the shots on the one side, and Zach is just about everywhere right now. And the thing that confuses us is how these people don't realize, like, they know about the Chop Shop, they know Zach was in it, they know about the couples, but yet they still somehow gravitate back to Zach, and I don't get it. And for me, there are 4 really huge guys in that house that are physical comp threats. We've got Kevin, we've got Bobby, we've got Bruno, and then we've got Zach. And somehow they're still working together. At some point, you need to turn on each other, because if you just keep those people in the house, it's going to be a bloodbath. So I'm not sure why they're not taking opportunities to take out a big player. Like Zach not taking out Bruno last week, and his main man ended up going home because of the cockiness that he had.
Worst move ever.
Worst move.
Himself on the block.
But yeah, JP putting himself on the block was a super fan blunder, unfortunately.
Well, they've been known to happen.
Yes, they have.
What did you guys think about playing with so many super fans in the house?
Oh, it's crazy. There's so much like stats going around, facts going around. We're super fans ourselves, so we're part of that. It was interesting. It was fun. It brought a lot of. It was surprising to have so many super fans. I didn't think that there would be so many, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, for me too, like, I went in the house knowing I was going to be the super fan, but then I entered the house, and then I was almost wanting to tone down my super fan knowledge and that type of stuff, because I thought that would make me an instant, threat, or people might, just give them something to make me a threat immediately. But then when we got into the house and there's people like Jordan in there that are the biggest super fan of all time, like, I don't even stand a chance. He knows last names of people from every single season. He knows boot orders. I mean, we're super fans, but not super fans like that.
We don't know that.
But yeah, it was crazy. I never expected, and there was at least 5 or 6 of us in there that were actually really big fans.
Super fans.
So yeah, that was crazy. I would have never expected that. Although, I mean, before moving into the house, I did have a gut feeling that, maybe the twist this year would be all super fans or something crazy like that. I mean, and we ended up getting like 5 or 6, so that's crazy in itself, which is great for the fans watching. Super fans can make the show. It can happen. I mean, Day and I are a perfect example. So all the people out there who want and live and breathe Big Brother and want to do it, go out and apply and try and just be yourself, because it can happen. It happened for us, so it can happen for you.
Going back to, go on, Jordan.
On the superfan topic, do they watch the other formats like UK and Australia?
Do you guys watch the other formats?
Yes.
UK and Australia?
I watched Big Brother USA, and last year I started watching Big Brother Australia.
For me, I've always watched the US, and I've seen like YouTube clips and that kind of thing from UK, Australia, and some of the other formats as well.
Oh, I watched Big Boss, India.
I remember reading that in your, when they first put you out. Let me see here. Okay, going back to the topic of Sarah really quick. I kind of feel like with Jordan gone, they snatched up Cindy. Sarah and Brittany feel like they might have a little bit of control of the house, maybe. Do you think they're going to be able to work with Cindy, or do you think that Cindy can't be trusted?
No, Cindy can 100% be trusted if you are Sarah and B. Cindy went right to them because she knew that they were the only people she could trust. So it would be phenomenal if somehow this week both or all 3 of them be Cindy and Sarah last. I don't think that's going to happen because Cindy's on the block and someone's going home. But 100% Cindy, Sarah, and B can trust each other.
Okay. Maybe more than any other alliance in the house is kind of
Absolutely.
I think they're the only people that really showed some kind of allegiance. Like, Sarah voted for me to stay. Johnny voted for me to stay. Everyone else is doing these unanimous votes. Cindy came into the house with information. She took that information directly to Sarah because she knew Sarah was the only person that she could trust. So there's definitely trust there, but I think the other people are going to knock them out, unfortunately.
Jordan, do you have any questions? Yes. And Jordan has froze. Okay, let's see. Well, I have a friend on...
Jordan, Cindy seems to be the target this week. ask what they would have done differently to make it less of a revolving door.
Okay. She wants to. So, Jordan, you mean if they were in the house? If they were still in the house?
If they were to have won that comp instead of Cindy.
And what comp?
The comp to go back into the house.
I'm understanding. I understand now. If you guys had won and gone back into the house, what would you have done differently than Cindy? Would you have done the same thing as Cindy to try and gain control over the house?
I personally would have probably for sure gone to Sarah and Brittany. I had some kind of a relationship with Zach, and I would have went in making him feel like I still trusted him, because before I left, we were very, very, very close, and I knew that he had a difficult time evicting me. So I would explain to him that, hey, listen, I understand that you had to evict me just because you couldn't show your cards. So I would show that I still have an allegiance to him and that I wanted to continue with him. I would probably also approach Willow, just because Willow and I were somewhat close. I didn't exactly trust her completely, but I know that and now after watching, I know that she kind of wasn't sure about taking me out at that point either. And I know that she kind of felt that I trusted her, even though I completely didn't. So those are kind of the people that I would probably go towards. And I would try to act as normal as possible with everyone. And then I would try to take the information that I have and kind of use it when need be. Exposing the chop shop, I probably wouldn't have exposed it right away. I want a few more people to go before I said that we take out Zach or we take out Bruno, sort of deal. So I think but the problem is that I think Cindy had her back against the wall, just the way she came in, and so she had to expose the chop shop. But it's very unfortunate that people like Kevin and Pilar aren't understanding, and Kevin thinks that he's so in with Zach, when the reality is Zach's with everyone, and Zach's playing him, you know what I mean? So I think Cindy was just in a really, really tough spot.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, a little bit of the same. I definitely would have went back to Sarah and B, because they were my girls. They were the ones I trusted the most in the house. And I certainly would have told them everything. Like Cindy did. So that's exactly what I would have done as well. For me, a little bit different. I mean, with the whole Zach and Jordan thing, I didn't really trust them, because ultimately they were the ones. And I sort of knew that. They were sort of part of the 5 votes I needed to stay, and it didn't happen. So I wouldn't have necessarily gone back to them.
Just
Kevin,
use them where you can.
Use them. And of course, we had no idea who was Cindy would have had no idea who was HOH till she walked out the vault doors to find out. So really, it's hard to sort of judge what you're going to do without sort of knowing who's in power for the week, who's on the block type thing. I hate to say it, and some people might not like to hear it, but I would have went back to Kevin, and Kevin is an important person. He's strong physically. He was with Keely, and they were in this couples alliance, but he needed to know that he was the #1 target of the other side of the house in the chop shop, and he still remains that #1 target. Zach is still talking, and Bruno is still talking about how threatening Kevin is. So he's in a lot of trouble.
So it's mind-boggling to us seeing what's going on now that Kevin doesn't understand. The first couple of weeks we were like, Kevin's not playing the game, Kevin doesn't understand what's going on. So now we're seeing really Kevin does not understand what's going on. How are you going back to people who are literally gunning for you? Like, they're gunning for you behind your back, and we told you about that. I straight out told him this is what's happening, and he realized, and yet still he's going back to people that are still gunning for him behind his back. So it's crazy.
And for me, the only other person I would have considered going back to, because I know that they would be willing to possibly make a move, is someone like Bruno. And I would have went back to Bruno, and I would have said, listen, Zach is gunning for you hard. He's in a couples alliance. He made it very clear that he was your target, and I would have tried to play that angle as well. I think Bruno is the only one in there with some balls that is possibly willing to do something.
Yeah.
And he will have to take a stab at Zach, because ultimately those are 2 alpha males in there, and they're going to have to go head-to-head at some point.
Yeah, and we also got some information that Cindy did use and gave to Bruno about when we were doing the slideshow. Team Bruno was in the audience, and they went crazy. They were like cheering when we said we want to take out Zach. So we would have given him that information, but it depends on the time in which you use it. Cindy did give it to him, so we don't know if Bruno believed her or not, but that information was given to him by Cindy, so she did play that card as well.
Okay. Jordan, do you have any follow-up questions?
No, but who is the hardest person in the BB Canada house to live with?
Who is the hardest person in the BB Canada house to live with?
I didn't have any difficulty living with anyone. I love meeting and experiencing new people. So I actually can't say that there's anyone that really irritated me to the point where I couldn't live with them. I was like Willow's she's really out there, but it was entertaining. Like, to be around her, she was funny and she entertained us on the daily. She was the one person that I think most people thought was irritating, but I kind of enjoyed having her around just because she was so funny. So I can't really say there's anyone that was actually irritating.
Yeah, there was no one that you couldn't live with in there. I mean, all of the people were reasonable to live with, and there was no one who drove us that insane that, I just can't live with them. But for me, I mean, like, the Willow thing, yes, Willow was entertaining, but at sometimes it just got really old and really boring, and she did end up irritating and annoying me quite a bit. It was just to the point where, we've seen the song and dance Willow, and then she continues to do her thing. And I mean, great girl. I love Willow to pieces, but at the same time, yeah, she did irritate me in the house. Godfrey irritated me in the house beyond belief. That guy, all he did was sleep. Honestly, that's all he did. I would close my eyes for 30 seconds, and Big Brother would say, "Wake up, nap time is over." Godfrey would get 40-minute nap in with not a word or sound from him. So that irritated me. But I will say this, Godfrey, since being out and since watching him take a stand in the power veto at the eviction with his speech and his message, Godfrey's playing a really good game. And I can't even believe I'm saying that out of my mouth right now.
Honestly, yeah, I never thought I'd be rooting for Godfrey, but Godfrey's in my top 5 to win this game. I would choose him to win this game over half of the people left in the house, 100%.
Which is so crazy, so crazy.
Yeah, I think we might start seeing a lot more of Godfrey.
I do believe so, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of when you had the soda bottles with the fan pictures on them? What did you guys think of all that? Did you think it was a clue or just...
Yeah, Nay wasn't in the house for that. I was the one that actually found the bottles for the very first time. So I walked into the storage room and literally just about lost my mind. First off, you don't see any other faces in the house at all other than Arissa every Wednesday. So just to see a new face, even if it's just a picture, was insanity. So I was like freaking out. Not only that, 2 of those initial things, the cream soda bottle and the pickle jar, not the pickle jar, the other one, whatever the other one was.
Was it this one by any chance? Do you remember that guy?
The cream soda guy, yes, him, absolutely. I recognize him. I remember reading a tweet about him before I entered the house. I know him, and I said to him in the house while I was in there, I held that bottle up, and I'm like, I'm going to find you when I get out, and I'm going to message you, and I have.
You have talked to him.
Yes, absolutely. Him and I have messaged back and forth. But the girl on the, she wasn't on the pickle jar, she was on whatever else came in that week. I recognized her as well, and I had read a tweet from her before going into the house, too, because when you're almost going in the house. I mean, and as superfans, I followed that BB Can hashtag every single day, and so I saw so many people tweeting about it, and I recognized those 2, and I just about lost my mind. We didn't really know what was up with them. They got put in, and really nothing was said further about them or anything like that. I automatically assumed they were just some sort of fan engagement type thing. I didn't think they were part of a competition or a challenge or anything like that, but we freaking love those things. We were carrying them around everywhere. Brought them to the hot tub, brought them up to the bedroom. Like, it was ridiculous.
You got new friends in the house.
Yeah, we got new friends. We had new friends. Cream soda, pickle jar.
Let's see.
Ask Johnny if he had any idea that Kevin was a professional poker player.
Oh, did you have any idea that Kevin was a professional poker player?
No.
No, none whatsoever. And I mean, at the same time, I can't say it super surprises me. I mean, it's whatever, kind of.
Yeah.
There were some things in the house that now, in hindsight, looking back, it sort of makes sense. But, I mean, nothing mind-blowing on that one.
Yeah.
What about after seeing Bruno win that POV and knowing that he was, and I'm not going to get the wording right, but a really good gamer? Does that surprise you?
Yeah, I mean, but we don't know. Like, I don't know what that game is, so I don't know how much of a benefit it is to know that game. Like, I don't know how it works. Poker, yeah, you have a poker face. You
Absolutely.
read people. But I don't know how much the video game, like, to me, it's kind of irrelevant, you know? I don't think it matters.
Yeah, the video game thing, I don't know if it's necessarily a big deal. For me, the super shocker, which I didn't find out till after we competed to get in the house and we didn't make it, was that she was a chiropractor. Like, she's a doctor. What the hell? I had zero idea in the house. Literally, we had just finished the challenge. We're on our way back to sequester. She turns to me and she goes, oh, by the way, I'm a chiropractor. I just about lost my mind. I just about died. That was the biggest shocker for me, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan, do we have anything else? Is there anything we didn't cover, or do you guys have anything else?
We are just, obviously we're bummed to be out, out of the house, but we're so excited that we had this opportunity to talk to all of our fans, give everyone our input on what happened in the house and our opinions about what's going to happen. We're still the biggest super fans ever, and we love you, Canada.
And we love all of our viewers. I mean, we've got viewers from all across the world.
All over the world. We were getting
US.
shout-outs from the U.S., Brazil,
Indonesia, like
Australia,
Australia,
India, everywhere. So it's absolutely
crazy.
insane.
So crazy.
Wow.
We love all of our fans.
Yeah.
Now, Global airs in other countries, right?
I'm not sure if it does or not. So
it doesn't air in the U.S., but anyway.
It's quite possible people are accessing it the same way you guys are.
Yeah.
I am. Jordan,
Amber, can you... Let's get into some of these fan questions that I had emailed to me.
Okay.
Jerry Parhar, Jordan's dad, asks...
Questions, guys.
Awesome. Okay.
Jerry Parhar asks, Naeha, if you returned to the house and won HOH, who would you have nominated?
Okay. Naeha, if you returned to the house, this is, by the way, this is from Jordan's dad. If you had returned to the house, who would you have nominated and why?
Oh, that's a tough one. Well, when Cindy returned, there was already an HOH in place. So Zach was already HOH. So
it's hard to see. It depends on. I think I would probably nominate Willow and Bobby. In the event that one of them came off the block, I'd probably backdoor Zach if his relationship with mine, if I felt that I couldn't play him a bit, or I would have backdoored Bruno, perhaps. But I really, really, really want Bobby out of the house. He's a competitor. He's a physical threat. And I kind of just don't like the person that he was in the house, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I would really, really want Bobby to go. I would tell him and Willow, both you guys are pawns. We didn't lie. We didn't work together beforehand, so it's a good ploy that we're working together now. No one would really realize it, but my intention would to be either backdoor him or take out Zach.
Yeah, and I think for me it would have been the same. I would have put up Bobby 100%. There was no question about that.
Yeah.
Someone else probably. I don't know who else I would put up. Like
someone you could use. Someone you could tell them that. Like, if they went, it wouldn't really matter to you, but if they went, you could still just tell them that you're their pawn. Like, for me, that'd be Willow. Because I felt when I was in the house, I felt that Willow was fire. Now I realize she's not, after watching the show and seeing how she's doing nothing. But I felt that she had some fire behind her, so she probably would have been my pawn.
Yeah, she would have made the most sense. And then again, with the goal for both of us was backdoor Zach.
Yeah.
If we had the opportunity, that's exactly what we would have done.
Okay.
Amber, Jordan wants...
That's from Jordan. That question was from Jordan's dad?
Hey, Jordan's dad!
Hi, Jordan's dad!
His mom wants to know if Johnny regrets using the veto on Kevin.
Oh, that's a good one. Gina Parhar, Jordan's mom, wants to know, Johnny, do you regret using the veto on Kevin?
Do I regret using it? No. The goal that week was to backdoor Greg, and I mean, he was a member of the Chop Shop. We all know that now. So for me, it wouldn't have mattered. That veto was going to get used that week no matter who was sitting on the block. It just so happened to be that Kevin was up there, and it sort of played into my whole Kevy Webby, Cuddlemance, and so it just sort of worked out that way. I was not taking Bobby off. Bobby was going to sit on that block and sweat. So we were leaving him up there. And I mean, if for some reason G had managed to flip the votes and Bobby went, we would have been like, peace, no big deal. You know what I mean? So no, I don't regret using it at all.
How hard was that comp? You're the only one that finished.
That comp was actually ridiculous. Literally from the minute we started, There was so much rope on each of those spools that literally we spent maybe 15 to 20 minutes unwinding it onto our body before even running across to unspool it onto the bigger thread. It was crazy. I was so dizzy. You don't know left from right. And the real strategy of that competition was that you had to be very careful how you were winding the rope around you. One, it had to be tight enough that you weren't going to lose any of the rope and step on it. Two, it had to be not so tight that you couldn't breathe, which is what happened to Sarah. Sarah wrapped herself so tight she couldn't actually breathe anymore. And I mean, when you're dizzy and you're gagging and you're throwing up, if you can't breathe, you start to panic. And that's exactly what happened with Sarah. So for me, it was really slow and steady initially to get the rope wrapped around me, and I was leading it with my hands sort of to help guide it around my body. And then what I realized after the first spool, watching Brittany and Bobby, is that if you let too much slack loose on the rope and you step over it, which is what they did, you get knotted. And the minute you were knotted, you were screwed. There was nothing you could do. We weren't allowed to unhook the rope from our belts. Therefore, they had no option other than to try to crawl through the knot. But when you've got a knot that's happened in the middle of the spool and you've wrapped it around your body, there's no possible way of doing it. So for me, it was like slow and steady. Kevin and I were neck and neck for the first two spools. But on that third spool, it's like that's when I actually really started to feel how dizzy I was. I had a moment where I like literally put the bucket up and like literally put my hair back and I was like, okay, I'm gonna barf my entire stomach up and then I'm gonna continue. But it was crazy. That challenge was not just a quickie challenge. We went for, I want to say, almost 2 hours on that challenge. Mm. It was a long challenge.
Jordan, you have some others?
Trevwell wants to know if there's any plans to do a meet and greet in Vancouver.
Oh, Trevwell would like to know if there's any plans to do a meet and greet in Vancouver.
If someone could bring us to Vancouver, we would love to do a meet and greet.
I think what we'd love to do for these next 5 weeks is if we can meet our fans and show them our love and thank them for their support, we'd love to. So if we can somehow get it to Vancouver and there's a place in Vancouver that wants to see us, we are down to come out.
Absolutely.
I'm not planning on going back to work until the season's over. So we're free. We're
Absolutely.
free.
Okay.
Christine from BB16 asks, looking back after watching the show, who is one person you wish you had aligned with?
Okay. Christine from BB16 wants to know. Wants to know, is there one person you wish you had aligned with?
Now I'm thinking I wish I aligned with Godfrey. Just because me and Godfrey would be such an unlikely alliance, and it sucks because Godfrey was pegged that he was with Greg, and that's why and Greg was going after me, so I feel like Godfrey went after me because of that, but I feel like we would have been fired together. So that's my choice.
If I had to pick anyone, I wish I would have aligned with Bruno, to be honest with you. Bruno's playing a really great game, and I wish that was an angle I had the opportunity to take. Mm-hmm. I tried to flip it the week I was going, but it was already too late at that point, too little, too late. Yeah. But if I could have worked with Bruno, I think we could have done some damage together.
Mm-hmm. Bruno is definitely doing better than I thought he was before he went in the house. He really is.
He's killing it in there.
Amber?
Yes.
We love you, Christine, BTW.
Yeah, we love you.
Amber, I forgot to ask, why is it that when you're nominated, why do you think people treat you guys like the plague?
Oh, huh. Well, first, when you guys were nominated, and Naeha, you're not really going to have an answer for this one because you weren't nominated for very long. Why do you think people treat you like the plague?
So this was my thing. I literally called out, there's some sort of weird thing when you go up on the block, everyone sort of distances themselves from you. I don't know why it happens. It just seems to be something natural. I guess people start feeling bad or guilty that they have to send someone home, so you naturally don't want to associate yourself or be around those people because you feel bad for them or something like that. I have no idea. But I had seen it happen with Risha and Peely. I had seen it happen with Cindy. And I was like to myself, no, if I'm going up on the block, screw that. I still want to enjoy the last week I might have in this house. And I don't want people to avoid me. So I made sure that I was not going to be avoided. I I was joining conversations. I wasn't going to just seclude myself in the bedroom and just give up and roll over and die. I mean, unfortunately, we saw Greg once he went up on the block after the power veto was used. And I don't think this made the show, but on the feeds, he sort of just secluded himself. He stayed in the bedroom all on his own, didn't really talk to anyone. It was kind of awkward, and that's not me. I love being around people. The game is the game, and that's happening regardless of what's going on. But yeah, I don't get why people treat people like the plague. I mean,
Yeah, it's weird.
we're just on the block, no big deal. It's a Big Brother. There's people on the block every single week.
Yeah.
Ask, as a super fan, what was it like to have your birthday in the Big Brother house?
As a super fan, what was it like to have your birthday in the Big Brother house?
Oh my god, that is like, I will never forget my 27th birthday for the rest of my life. It was an experience unlike any. Just being in the Big Brother house, period, is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, and I will never forget. But having the opportunity to have my birthday in there is something just, is so amazing. I mean, we had Cameragate, where Big Brother actually tricked us into thinking that the camera was broken. So I actually, on my actual birthday, didn't get anything. It was kind of ruined. We were on slop. And that was sort of upsetting. On top of that, Big Brother had some paranoia going, and I was even paranoid for a little bit that maybe I got out of bed in the middle of the night and sleptwalked and broke the camera.
Until I put you in line.
This girl totally sat me down, and she's like, listen to me. Like, she literally said to me.
So Sarah and Johnny were losing their minds. They're like, oh my god, maybe we woke up in the middle of the night, we did this. And I was like, listen, if you were questioning last night, then you need to question every single night of your existence. And as if, like, did you do something when you woke up in the middle of the night? So I said, no, you didn't do it. Chill out.
The minute she said that, snapped me back into reality, and I was good. But then Big Brother made it up to me and threw me a birthday party, which was amazing. You know, to get something like that done from Big Brother, and for them to say, you know, happy birthday, Johnny, like, that's like a dream come true. And I'll never forget that. So best birthday of my entire life. Plus, I mean, did you guys get to see those amazing lap dances I got? Like, that's the best birthday ever.
I did.
Yes, we've seen some of them.
Oh, we have not talked about the hot tub.
Oh. Which time? Which one?
The big night. We'll go with that. You and Kevin, you and, was it Zach?
Yep.
Wasn't it? It was somebody else too?
Yeah, we were, that was you were there still.
Yeah.
Neha was there, right? For that one, I think?
I believe so. It was pretty early.
That night we were playing spin the ball or whatever we were playing in the thing. Yeah, I got to kiss, I pretty much kissed everyone in the house, I want to say. I got to kiss Willow, I kissed Cindy, I kissed Peely, I kissed Ashley, I got to kiss Bobby, you probably didn't see that. I kissed Zach, and then I got my Kevy Webby kiss finally, which was awesome. Yeah, I pretty much kissed everyone in the house, I'm not going to lie. The only girl I didn't actually get to kiss was this one right here. She was just giving me the cheek.
Well, besides Kevin, and he may not even be your favorite kiss, who was a good kisser?
I think you said you loved Brittany.
Brittany, hands down, was the best kisser in the house. What you guys didn't see is after the BBTV competition, we actually got alcohol, and we were in the hot tub, and we got quite a bit of alcohol, and things got a little rowdy, and Kevin and Peely were making out, Zach and Ashley were making out, and Brittany and I were making out. She's the best kisser in the house, hands down. But for the guys, for me, totally Kev wins. Kevin didn't give me any tongue. Zach did, though. So just throwing it out there, just saying.
That's awesome.
Speaking of that, did Bobby kiss like a virgin? Because that was his lie for, I don't even know how long, if it's still going on.
So, did Bobby happen to kiss like a virgin? Since he said he was a virgin.
So now we're hearing online that was a lie, he's not a virgin.
Bobby's not a virgin.
And he wants to do this big reveal in the finale, and it's like, no one cares, Bobby. We don't understand why that's going to be your big reveal. Like, Kevin's reveal, oh, hey, I'm a pro poker player, that's going to be a big reveal to the house guests. But the fact that you're not a virgin, no one cares.
No one cares at all. And to go back to Bobby's kiss, he sucks at kissing.
Oh my god, if you guys saw it, we were so scared for Ashley in that hot tub scene. Like, I thought he was going to eat her face off.
Yeah.
Like, it was so hard to watch that.
It was so bad. Terrible kisser. Terrible kisser. He was eating her face. It was literally, when you saw me in the diary room doing the reenactment of him kissing, It was that, but even worse.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
So bad.
So he might not be lying about being a virgin then.
No, he's definitely a virgin that's just super sloppy at kissing.
Oh, I don't know. But we're hearing on the feeds or online that he was lying about that and he wants to do his big reveal. If that's the case, boy, no one cares.
Yeah,
no one.
Yeah, nobody.
And learn how to kiss if you don't know how to, because that's ridiculous. No girl wants to be with a guy who can't kiss, seriously.
Jordan, did you have any more fan questions? Well, Jordan just went dark.
Oh, no.
Can you guys
If they were
there
in
she is.
If they were in Sarah's position right now, how would they go after the couple's alliance? And that's from David Sandel.
Okay, this is from David Sandel.
Hey, David.
If you guys were in, I'm sorry, repeat that, Jordan.
If they were in Sarah's position right now, how would they go after the couple's alliance?
Okay, if you were in Sarah's position right now, how would you go after the couple's alliance?
Oh, God, it's so tough because she needs people. I think that now she needs to go to Bobby and Bruno and just explain to them the severity of them sticking with the new Chop Shop. Because in the end, they're going to have to take each other out. So they need numbers on the other side. So her best bet would be to go to them and say, listen, if I get HOH, I'm not taking you guys out. My target is Zach. My target is Kevin, because she knows that they're on the other side. I think Bobby or Bruno for sure is playing the middle, which is great for Bruno. That's why he's playing such a damn good game right now. But she needs to say to him, listen, like, Zach is a big gun. Kevin is a big gun. And I'm willing to take them out, so assist me in that. So her best bet would be to go to those two guys.
Absolutely. I think to be honest with you, it's Bruno, not to Bobby. Let Bruno take care of Bobby.
Exactly. Because Bobby, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Bobby really needs to figure out the game, and I think if Bruno wasn't his main man, he'd be struggling a lot.
Yep.
Okay. Well, we've taken up an hour of your time already. Jordan, do you have anything else?
Yes.
Oh, she said she has more. Sorry.
Okay.
We're ready.
Ask them if there's anything they want to plug. I know that there's like anti-bullying t-shirts, all that stuff.
Is there anything that you want to plug?
Well, is there anything? Well, we're gonna be doing some videos.
Yeah, so stay tuned for those.
But I guess we can plug some other things. I have a chocolate truffle business. It's called Indulgence Truffles, www.indulgencetruffles.com. I also have a handbag line. It's called Donotare, www.danotare.com. And there's some shirts going around that supports bullyingcanada.ca. I wore a shirt in the house, You Can Sit With Us. It was a shirt that I wore just because I love the idea of acceptance, and it wasn't really anything to do with bullying per se, but it had to do with the fact that, we should all be nice to each other, that sort of thing. And it was kind of like a little twist to the whole Mean Girls, You Can't Sit With Us sort of deal. And that turned into something outside of the Big Brother house. Everyone saw it and loved that shirt. So my friends and family made these You Can Sit With Us shirts and in support of bullyingcanada.ca, so you can buy them online. Please email us at teamnaha@gmail.com. They're $20 plus $10 shipping in Canada. All proceeds, absolutely every single dollar, goes to bullyingcanada.ca. There's absolutely no profit made off of these shirts because this is such a big problem in society. And we, as we're sitting on a platform where we can push to make a change. So please support this charity, or just go to bullyingcanada.ca and support it, because there's so many children out there, there's so many people out there that are in need of help, and we can help them. So please support such an amazing cause.
Absolutely.
Anything for you, Johnny?
Stay tuned for what Naeha and I have coming. We're definitely going to get some videos out there. I love all of the fans. I love all the blog sites. I was a super fan before with all of them. I'm not going to shout out anyone in particular, but I love all and every single one of them. The bullying thing, again, near and dear to my heart. I was bullied as a kid, and it definitely does get better, and you need to just keep your head up high. The bullying for sure. These shirts are amazing, and I have to say, her handbags are the bomb. If you go to her site and check out her handbags, they are amazing. I just about died when I saw them in person. Just about died.
And if our fans, if you want to see from us, please tweet us, let us know, and we are putting together some videos. This week has been crazy, so they will be out there. But let us know what you want to hear from us, and we'll put it online. We'll put it out there. My Twitter handle is NAEHASBBCan3, so it's Naeha SBBCan3 on Twitter.
And mine is JCOLATRUGLIO, so Johnny Colatruglio, or at Colatruglio on Twitter. And of course, we have been doing really well trying to answer all of our fans that are tweeting us questions. It's hard to keep up with them. Keep tweeting us. We will answer as many as we possibly can. We love all of you, so any questions, any insight that you might have, or like that, just let us know. And like Naeha said, any videos you want us to throw out there, or anything you want to hear from us, we'd love to put it out there for our fans.
Two more quick questions, and then we'll wrap this up.
Ask
Naeha to rap for us, since we didn't get to see it because she didn't return.
Jordan would like you to rap for us, Naeha.
Okay. You know what? I'm nervous. I can't do this. And also, I need a couple of drinks to get me going. So actually, tonight we're having some drinks with some of the BB Can alumni. So I'll get a few drinks of myself, and we'll post a video.
We'll post a video.
And I'll make sure that it's epic. If I'm going to give Canada my skills, I want them to, I want to be on par. And unfortunately, I need a few drinks to do that. So we will definitely get back to you.
We'll get a video.
Send me the Twitter handle of who asked that question, and I will get at them.
Was that you, Jordan?
It was me.
Or was it you, Jordan?
It was me.
I got you. I know. You know, I was waiting for my, I was so unfortunate because, I wanted to, give myself to Canada and give them my skills. But I was in the house too short of a time. But I will put it out there. Canada, I'm giving it to you.
I heard her rap in Sequester, and she was really good.
Awesome.
I'm so excited.
And my one last thing was it hard? Did you find it being a disadvantage being a superfan going in, or was it an advantage?
Do you think it's an advantage or a disadvantage going in as a superfan?
Okay, so I think it's good that you have so much knowledge, but what happened when we all went to the house is that we all realized there's 6 of us that are super fans, and we talked so much, about it, just because we had something that we could relate to each other with, you know. So we talked so much. Everyone, honestly, I think there's a lot more super fans than are giving that there are. For example, Zach is a super fan. If he's been on Twitter talking about BB Can or Big Brother 2 years prior, you're probably a super fan. We know that I think he let off that he wasn't. We know that Bruno's a super fan, and some people were kind of playing it cool. But there's a bunch of us that's what connected us, our love for the game. So, and the fact that we knew so much. So I think it kind of did put a target on our back in that sense. But when you go into that house, there's very limited things that you can talk about. Well, for me, for sure, I was hiding 90% of my life. So the fact that I'm a super fan, I was able to talk people with something that I could relate to. You know what I mean? But I think it somewhat does put a target on your back because,
absolutely.
Look at us, 1, 2, 3, JP, poor JP, he's out the door too, and we, seeing him go was so painful for us.
Yeah.
Even though we're sitting here and we're in pain, I feel so bad just because he's such a super fan, and I know it's probably killing him that he's not in that house because it's killing us that we're not in there. But yeah, it sucks. And for me, we had a conversation in the hot tub. It was actually JP, myself, Zach, Johnny, Willow. It was us 5, and we were like, guys, we gotta stick together. Us super fans, we deserve to make it far. We know so much of the game, and we love this game. We have such passion and love for this game that we should make it far. Unfortunately, obviously, it didn't work out that way, but yeah, it definitely puts a target on your back.
I think so too, and I think one of the things for me in the house is having so much knowledge of the game and how it works gave me even more paranoia than there already is in the Big Brother house. Yep. There's so much paranoia to begin with, just by nature of how the show works. But I had even more paranoia because I would keep thinking to myself, when's there going to be a double eviction? When's the instant going to happen? All of these things run through your head. And anytime, we may have been locked out in the backyard, or I'm like, oh, what are they doing? What kind of twist is going to hit us next?
For real.
The paranoia is real, and I think that being a super fan plays into that. We look at John Party from last year, who really wasn't a Big Brother fan until he got into the house, and he really learned the game in the house, and it worked to his benefit.
Yeah.
So I think to some degree, maybe being a super fan is a little bit of a hindrance. And I mean, look at us, Naeha, me, Jordan, we're all out, and we're all huge super fans. And like Naeha said, we're devastated. We know Jordan was devastated, but we definitely have to say to Jordan, he really took it so well.
Yep.
We love that he went out there and he just, he just owned it, and that was it. So if JP's parents are still watching, we love your son so much. We can't wait to see him once he's out. And thanks for raising such a good guy.
All right.
Yeah, let's wrap this up for them because I know they have other stuff to do. Invite them back anytime, and hopefully we can sort out my mic next time. I don't know what's going on and why they can't hear me.
Okay. Well, Jordan said we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. You guys are invited back anytime you want.
Whenever you want us, let us know.
Absolutely.
And I guess that's it. But I need to say something. It's not related to you guys. That I have gotten on their nerves to Twitter. I'm playing a game, and I had to put out some really annoying tweets, so people probably think I'm nuts. I'm sorry, and I'll stop soon. But anyway.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
We
you
love
so
our
much.
fans. Like Nae said, we will come back anytime you want us.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Awesome.
It was nice to meet you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.